your performance against A Ward, where do you rank that in your among, amongst your incredible resume of amazing
Right.
performance against legends and greats and everyone outside doing it right now? Where do you rank that one?
Yeah, it's definitely up there. I think I've had two, I mean that performance and my homeschool performance. I've really liked the writing in those battles. I think those are some of my better performances, top five for sure. Um, and like I said, it's because I'm in this new, I call it like it's a joke amongst, my peers and stuff. I call it Sick 2.0, right? Because from, Jada Nightwing to Twerk or to K-Shine, I should say. I'll kind of explain it now. I'll go into it. Sorry if this is long-winded, but
No,
like
please do.
I came into URL kind of just like or like when I was active, I should say, because I have battles on UW and shit like that, but I was battling here and there. So when I got active on iBattle and then ended up on, URL, I was just trying to like, make a stamp. So I was super competitive until I started, I think until like my Av battle. By the time I got to Av, I had battled Chilla, B Magic. I main evented with Mike P, ended Danny Streak, and battled Arsenal. I'm from Jersey, so battling Arsenal was like a bucket list thing for me. And I noticed this in hindsight. I didn't know at the time, but battle rap started feeling like an event instead of a competition to me. You know what I mean? Because like you're showing up when I battled Av, like it was like the first time the crowds were back after COVID, and I had to get walked to the VIP section with people hounding me and yo sick, what up sick? And my life is changing. I'm walking through the street and people are stopping me for pictures and shit like that. Like it was crazy, and it just started feeling like an event because now I'm showing up. I showed up to Summer Madness that year when Easy Battle Chess. I wasn't on the card or nothing, but just the love that you receive, it makes you feel really like it feels like a grand thing, you know what I mean? And it took the competition aspect away from me. So like when I battle Pat, it's for the Drake event, right? The day before we're at Chris Brown's house fucking watching Fonz and Lou Castro and clips and chess, and then Remy with the Tims. She helps me with the Tims. Fucking I met Crooked Eye over there. That's one of my
Classic.
favorites. Fucking Drake is coming up to me saying, "Yo, you killed that shit." Like all of this is it's hard for a person that's only really been active for a year to be standing in front of all of that and still have that hunger the same way that it was when I first got in. So I always say like when I battled Shine, that was kind of like so after that I battled Pat DNA, JC with a one rounder, and I was kind of seeing like I wanted the hunger back, so I joined UM5 and hoping a tournament setting would kind of get me there. So I battled Stumbles. I think I watched him, but Stumbles was great. And then me and Fonz was one of the best battles of that tournament, but I ended up losing in there and then battling Shine on Gnome. By the time I got to Shine, not only was I fatigued and not knowing it, right? I was also like I needed a thing to spark my hunger again, right? So, I just put my rounds together. I had like super short prep and whatever, but it didn't occur to me that it shouldn't be like this for Nome in front of Houston, in front of somebody as dangerous as Shine. Shine is in my top five. And it's actually one of the things I wish we had, like, if I had more time or more rest, we could have had a crazy battle. But it was completely one-sided on his side. But I needed that because that brought hunger back. You know what I mean? And then
Mhm.
I was like, you know what? Let me sit and reflect. You never get to smell your flowers like until something like that. You know what I mean? Until you get to sit back. And I,
Mm.
I never really got to reflect on how crazy it was that I was, battling people that I was watching when I was a teenager, just a fan of battle rap. You know what I mean? And all this stuff, like I said, that was changing in my life. Your life changes when you get on a platform as big as URL, right? Like, I don't have to wait in line at the club because the security guard watches battle rap. Like, I'm not no fucking celebrity or nothing, but what I mean is like it's crazy, right? It's just a lot going on. So that definitely brought a hunger back in me. And then when I battled Twerk, so now Twerk is returning, right? Like it's a battle of Shine and Twerk on a return. Like I'm fucking crazy, but like Twerk is coming back, and I'm like prepping, and that hunger that I felt, I was like, this is how I'm gonna keep it. You know what I mean? So even though probably because he rapped a bit longer and he was on 10, people gave him the battle, people still said that was like top 5 battle of last year.
Mhm.
And it started sinking in like, yo, I have like a battle of the year candidate every year that I'm here. You know what I mean? So I want to, that says something. I want to keep up to that standard. You know what I mean? So yeah, this, twerked and the 2-on-2 for, Pat's memorial. Again, rest in peace. That was fun, but that, still trying to show different things off. And then, yeah, the homeschool battle, the disaster battle, and now the A Ward battle. Yeah, I just am now, I refound my hunger. I'm saying
Mhm.
all that to say I refound my hunger, and now my hunger is more dangerous because I have more tools at my disposal. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, so
Oof,
yeah, that's
oof.
definitely, and I think it's a good sign if the more recent battles that I have are some of my best performances. That
Mhm.
just means I'm continuing to go up, and I intend to keep doing that. Like, it doesn't matter. I mean, like I said, I thought Homeschool was one of my best performances, and he's no, Mount Rushmore. Like I love Homeschool. Shout out to him. But that's just me showing like, all right, if I'm starting here, like
Mhm.
I have to just keep surpassing this. You know what I mean? Um, so hopefully that puts it more in context why, yeah, A Ward was one of my best performances for sure.
Yeah, no, that totally puts it into context and says, you really know how to take a loss as well. You have
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah, for
shout
sure,
out to
for
Rivers.
sure.
He always talks about it's with battle rap, especially. You've got to know how to take a loss, and
You
some
have
people
to.
really don't. That's it. And you could potentially spiral going from such highs to having a very high profile battle, Shine on his comeback, like you're saying, and feeling unprepared, not maybe having enough time, not having the ideal conditions. It would be easy
Yeah,
to kind of rest on, just whatever, not turn it into looking at everything you have achieved and finding
yeah,
back that hunger to kind of find a new, yeah, that's literally what you did, right? Created a
yeah,
new version, Sikh
for sure.
2.0, the new
Yeah, yeah,
strain. Yeah.
yeah,
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 I love that.
exactly.
But yeah, and it really did show on that when I was watching you versus A Ward,
Hmm.
the first part, I can't remember, about halfway through the first round, and I just had to stop it. And I was watching it with someone.
Hmm.
I was saying, look how much this man has just done in the first half of this first round. Like,
Right.
this
Yeah.
is one of the best openers to a round I've ever seen. Like, from the way you the counter writing,
Oh,
the foresight,
yeah. Did I
the
like
I
cut
saw you
out?
glitch
You
for a
can
second. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Sorry, you were
I
saying
ignored it.
the first round.
Yeah, that you're
Last thing I
open.
heard
So
was how much I did. Yeah, yeah, sorry.
yeah, just how much basically you did in that
Hmm.
first half of that first round,
Yeah.
showing off so many different attributes. I think against an
Hmm.
opponent like Ward, who does also have kind of a wide range of skills, he can do a lot. He's got the rebuttaling factor, which always adds extra pizzazz.
For sure.
How much of a focus was having incredibly high impact in that first round? Like, was that, because it just blew me away.
Thank you. Um, yeah, it was definitely a focus because, you know, one. I'm, I try to visualize the battle and like get my thoughts of how it's gonna go versus reality as close as possible, right? So like in my head, I've never been part of a blackout. I've always just watched them. Um, and it was always exciting as a fan seeing like the two battlers get announced and they get on stage and the hype in the building. So I'm like, I have to come out guns blazing and match that energy and try to steal the energy in this battle as quick as possible because for that battle specifically, it's important when you're battling a rebuttaler too to
Mm.
get as much of the energy on your side as you can and make a deeper hill for them to climb or a deeper ditch for them to climb out of, right? So whether I went first or second, I wanted it to be something that could either surpass energy or set the tone to where it's like, like it's gonna be hard for
Keep
him to
up.
beat this round. Like it's the,
Yeah.
it's the same strategy I had with Diz, for example. Like to start so crazy and then be like, all right, bro, don't get booed. Let's see what happens, right? And then but yeah, we'll get into that after or later. But I had to go crazy and his angle was so I knew it was going to be said to me eventually, right?
Mm.
Because, you know, when I was obviously when you're part of a league and you're being competitive with the other leagues, you're going to say shit, but it was what I said in the rebuttal. Like it was like, yo, the chain, like for example, like when I first was a fan watching it, the chain was like uh it was like more of a renowned thing, right? And or like how should I say it? Like it was like a stamp, like a staple, like oh he's king of the
Mm.
dot champ, right? And I think Real Deal is a great champ. Um but the people that he was potentially facing for it was like who's gonna really take it from him? You know what I mean? And that's what it was coming from. And it was also me trying to highlight the difficulties of being on URL. It's the NBA for a reason, you
Mm.
know. So when I say things like the crowd doesn't boo, like that's a thing to really consider. Like in URL, the crowd will boo you. Like, and it's
Quick.
it's mostly it's mostly just a URL thing. Like, it's not like a battle rap thing, you know. So that's why I was highlighting those things, and I wanted to make it clear to the fans and organic. And I'm slowly realizing I'm good at rebuttals. So I'm like, yo, I need to start like putting this in my arsenal. Like I did it I rebuttal versus twerk.
Mm.
Uh, and then yeah, I just had one, and then I kind of freestyled a little bit when I battled stumbles. But I was like, yo, I should probably. I'm just so locked into the material. Sometimes I just don't like to stray away from it. But I'm understanding the power now. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
feel like that's like the last thing in my arsenal I need to perfect. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, definitely,
yeah,
because you really took, the crowd, the viewers. We're waiting. Like
yeah,
he's just told us, like, you just sold King of the Dot down the river.
hmm,
What have you got to say for yourself? And you
yeah, yeah,
answered it with a rebuttal against the rebuttaler as well. I think it adds impact
yeah,
that you're rebuttaling against someone who is one of the top guys doing
hmm,
it. And it was just so, yeah, it was just so effective in taking some of the sting out of his strongest material from that round.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then, like you launched into so many things after that. You had
yeah,
humor, you got into this crazy pocket. You
yeah,
paid homage to your people. You shouted at that, you got a home crowd basically, or you kind of got that.
yeah, yeah,
Spoke
yeah.
to, what is it, Brampton?
Brampton,
But
Brampton,
yeah,
yeah.
like you got made sure they felt the love, and really got them to. It was just, yeah, a masterful
Thank you,
opener.
thank you,
And
thank
I
you.
think it really set the tone from what I had high expectations after that. And you had
Hmm.
so many quotables, like so many quotables, so much intricate stuff, so much. You always have,
Yeah,
we in the UK really appreciate the multi-syllabic flow,
yeah,
intricate
yeah,
writing like that. And so, yeah, us rounds like that, or material like that, pockets like that. just yeah, it's a joy to watch. How
Thank you.
how comfortable like did you feel delivering it? Like were you floating up there?
Yeah, yeah, I was floating. I just there's performances you'll have where you just like you're still conscious, but you're just like, glassy eyed. You're not there. You're just going. And for that first round especially, um, yeah, that's the best way to describe it.